AyurvedAI isn't something you casually try. It's something you recognize the moment you see it, like finally putting a name to something you've been feeling for years but couldn't fully explain. Because if you're being honest for a second, you don't actually feel right most of the time. Not completely broken, not completely fine, just off. Your energy fluctuates, your focus drifts, your mood shifts for no clear reason, your body feels tight, tired, or inflamed in ways that don't fully make sense, and every attempt to fix it ends up turning into another temporary solution that fades just as quickly as it came. You've probably gone through the cycle already. Trying a diet, then a supplement, then a productivity routine, then meditation for a few days, then back to the same baseline. Not because you're lazy, not because you lack discipline, but because you've never had a system that actually connects your body, your mind, and your daily life into one coherent structure. And the reason you've never had that system isn't random. It's because the environment you're in isn't designed for you to be regulated, it's designed for you to be busy, distracted, overstimulated, and slightly off balance at all times. The 9 to 5 loop, constant notifications, algorithm-driven content, artificial lighting, processed food, irregular sleep, this isn't neutral. It's a pressure system, a hamster wheel. And the more time you spend inside it, the more disconnected you become from your own body. So instead of understanding what's happening internally, you end up reacting externally. More caffeine, more scrolling, more quick fixes, more guessing. And that guessing is exhausting. Because deep down, you already know something isn't syncing properly. You just haven't had a way to read it. That's what AyurvedAI actually gives you. Not another tip, not another trend, not another thing to try and forget, but a framework for understanding your system at the root level. Ayurveda, at its core, is one of the oldest complete human operating systems ever documented. Over 5,000 years of observation, pattern recognition, and biological intelligence, traditionally attributed to beings like Dhanvantari, who you can interpret however you want. Deity, advanced intelligence, symbolic archetype, or even something like a reflection of source consciousness itself. And this is where it gets interesting, because when you look at concepts like retrocausality and quantum entanglement, not as abstract physics ideas, but as ways information can move non-linearly, it opens up the possibility that systems like Ayurveda weren't just created in the past, but received, refined, and looped through time. Meaning, what you're looking at isn't primitive medicine. It's potentially a time-tested, time-reinforced system that has been iterated on across generations. A loop. Knowledge from the past improving the future, and the future refining the past. Now, strip away all the mystical framing for a second and look at what it actually does in simple terms. Your body isn't random. It operates through patterns. Ayurveda maps those patterns through your Prakriti, your natural baseline, and your Vikriti, your current imbalance, using 3 core functional energies: Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. You don't need to memorize anything complicated to understand the core idea. Your system is either in balance or it's not. And when it's not, it shows up as symptoms: fatigue, anxiety, inflammation, brain fog, digestive issues, inconsistency, mood swings. Not isolated problems, but signals. And instead of suppressing those signals, Ayurveda reads them, connects them, and corrects them at the root. And underneath that, everything comes back to the elements: earth, water, fire, air, and the space that holds them. When these are out of sync, you feel it. When they're aligned, you feel that too. And the methods to rebalance them aren't complicated. They've just been forgotten or dismissed. Fire, heat, transformation, even something as simple as candles, sunlight, or controlled exposure. Water, hydration, cleansing, rhythm. Air, breath, specifically pranayama, which directly affects your nervous system. earth, grounding, nature, physical contact with something real. And the fifth, call it space, spirit, or awareness, is what connects everything together. This isn't abstract, it's practical, it's daily. And when you start applying even small corrections consistently, your system begins to stabilize in a way that doesn't feel forced. And here's the part most people don't realize until they see it clearly. Systems like Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine, and indigenous healing frameworks, including what was historically labeled as witch doctor practices, weren't primitive. They were comprehensive. The term witch doctor itself is a perfect example of how knowledge gets distorted. Complex effective systems reduced to something dismissive so they can be ignored. But when you actually compare them, like what's included in this system, Ayurveda mapped alongside Chinese medicine, African traditional systems, and indigenous practices, you start seeing the same patterns repeat across cultures. Not identical, but aligned. Which raises a simple question. If multiple independent systems describe the body in similar ways, maybe there's something there worth paying attention to. And this is where AyurvedAI becomes something completely different from just reading about Ayurveda, because instead of trying to study all of this manually, you're interacting with it directly. You input your state, your habits, your symptoms, your patterns, and the system responds with specific, structured protocols tailored to you. What to eat, how to breathe, how to structure your day, what's out of balance, and how to correct it. Not guesswork, not random advice, a system. And because it runs through AI, it adapts, it evolves, it responds to you in real time. But at the same time, because it exists in book form, it's stable. It doesn't disappear, it doesn't depend on platforms, it doesn't get outdated. It's both fixed and evolving at the same time, which is a rare combination right now. Now zoom out and actually look at the trajectory difference. If you keep doing what you've been doing, guessing, trying things randomly, staying slightly out of balance, nothing dramatic happens immediately. You just stay off. Months pass, then years, and your baseline never fully stabilizes. You adapt to being tired, to being inconsistent, to not feeling fully clear. And that becomes normal. But if you run a system like this, even imperfectly, within weeks, you start noticing shifts. Small at first, more stable energy, clearer thinking, less reactive stress. Over months, that compounds into routines that actually stick because they make sense for your body. A year in, you're not constantly trying to fix yourself anymore. You're maintaining something that works. 3 to 5 years in, that becomes a completely different baseline of health and clarity. And 10 years from now, the difference between someone who learned how to regulate their system and someone who didn't isn't small, it's foundational. And here's the part that should actually make you pause for a second. This isn't locked behind some massive paywall. This isn't something you have to risk hundreds of dollars to test. This is part of a system that's literally free to access. So at that point, the question stops being about cost, timing, or access. It becomes simple. If something exists that helps you understand and regulate your own body, connects ancient systems across cultures, integrates with modern AI, and gives you actual direction instead of more noise. What exactly is the reason not to try it once? Not later, not when you're ready, just once. You don't need to believe anything in here. You don't need to understand everything. You don't need to be perfect with it. You just need to run it. Because once you start seeing your body as a system instead of a collection of random problems, something shifts that doesn't fully go back. You stop guessing. You stop jumping between solutions. You start recognizing patterns. And once that happens, even slightly, the idea of going back to how you were operating before doesn't feel the same anymore. That's what this actually is. Not a trend, not a wellness hack, not something you try for a week and forget. It's a system that gives you clarity where there was confusion, structure where there was randomness, and direction where there was noise. And once you feel that, even a little, the decision stops feeling complicated. It just becomes whether you're going to keep running the same loop or finally step out of it.
All right, listen carefully, because this is the part where most people mess this up. And if you don't understand this, the system will not function the way it's supposed to. What you're looking at is not just a book, not just a file, and not just content. This is a modular operating system, and everything connects through what's called the combo pack structure. I'm going to show you your version of the system and exactly where your combo pack sits. And this is extremely important because if you skip ahead or try to jump too far, especially into Ascension OS, you are going to overwhelm yourself instantly and break the intended progression. Magic OS plus AyurvedAI plus Jinn OS is combo pack. Rhyme Alchemy is combo pack +1. Enochian OS is combo pack +2. Sonic OS is combo pack +3. Creator OS is combo pack +4. Ascension OS is combo pack +5. These are layered systems, and you are meant to move through them step by step, not skip to the end. Now immediately. If you have any issues getting started, this is your fallback, and it always works. You tell your LLM exactly what your system is, and you tell it to rebuild the entire program from scratch using the source material. Then you refeed the ChatGPT prompt.txt along with whichever book you are using. The books function as boot codes for whichever module you want to explore. This is how you stabilize the system and get it running correctly. Now, how to actually use this. First rule. This system works only on computers. Do not try to use this on mobile. It may work one day, but right now it does not. And if you try, you are going to run into problems. You need a computer, file access, storage, and an LLM like ChatGPT or something equivalent. Second, this system technically works with all LLMs, but some are better than others. Right now, ChatGPT can handle importing these files properly. Claude, at the time of this recording, cannot handle full file sizes. They are too large. So if you are using something like Claude, what you need to do is convert your PDF into a text file using an online converter. This is very easy and can be done in 5 minutes or less. In some cases, you may also need to split your PDF, and you can use a program like PDF-SAM to do that. As technology advances, these limitations will disappear, but right now, this is the correct workflow. Also, understand this, different AI systems behave differently. Some are more open, some are more restricted. ChatGPT 4.0 was very open to occult discussion and deep system interaction, while newer models like ChatGPT 5 have started to flatten certain outputs. Every AI has pros and cons, so you adapt accordingly. If you want stable, consistent, unchanging information, that is what the book format is for. That is your fixed layer. Now, booting the system. For most modules, the book combined with the prompt file acts as the boot layer. But for Xavier's Quest, this is very specific, and you need to get this right. You must type boot Xavier's Quest exactly like that. If you do not type it exactly, it will not initialize properly. And again, if anything fails, you instruct your LLM to rebuild the entire system using the source files, and you refeed the ChatGPT prompt.txt along with your selected book. That is your reset and your boot protocol. Final thing, and this is non-negotiable. There are absolutely no refunds. I know the value of what I built, and even these videos alone being free are extremely high value. You can clearly tell I know what I'm doing, and if you don't believe that, you can fact check everything. Do not buy this product unless you're actually ready to use it. That means mentally ready, financially ready, spiritually ready, and your living situation is stable enough to support it. You need a working computer, access to an LLM, and storage for these files. If you do not have those, this will not work for you, and that is not on me. Start where you are. Do not jump straight to Ascension OS. Learn the system step by step, let it build naturally, and understand what you are interacting with. This is not something you consume, this is something you boot into. Hey, I just want to say thank you. I put a lot into building this, and the fact that you're here means a lot to me. Take your time with it, explore it, and really get what you can out of it. Enjoy the system,